another shot up in the air again. I'll probably never care again about anything, I'm arrogant. Ooh, I'm messed up, head spinning like a hurricane. I'm messed up off that alcohol and Mary Jane. That way more, round for pound, damn, way more.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got some new parts for you. That's right, guys, judging by the size of it, I think you know what it is. Yes, we have our Cobra side skirts, so we're going to go ahead, tear into these things and see what they look like. We finally have our 93 Cobra side skirts. Also in the package, you get mounting hardware, some tape, some screws, which is really good because I was already thinking about where I was going to have to get the screws from, so that's good. Over the weekend, as I get time, we're going to try to install some of these parts. I'm going tomorrow to get the fenders for the car, and also hopefully this weekend I'll be able to weld up the back, maybe even paint the spoiler and clear coat it. I'm not sure. I still have to go get paint too. So we got a lot of stuff going on this weekend, but I have to work this weekend, so it's going to be really tough for me to get all this stuff done, but I'm damn sure going to give it a try. Before anyone asks, I am going to be keeping the Celine side skirt. I actually like these things. In the last video, in the thumbnail, you saw where I photoshopped the car, lowered it. To be completely honest with you, that looked good. So what I'm thinking about is maybe later on down the line, doing another project car, doing a 4-eyed project car with the Celine side skirts. I think that would look killer. So while we're here, I want to talk about something. I picked this up from Amazon. It's just a really cheap socket set, and I recommend that everybody picks one up because, I mean, this is only like 23 bucks or something. I'll put a link down below. I may be wrong. You might be asking, why would you buy this if you have tools? To have a little set that you can take with you and say, like, when I'm working on this car, I can just bring this and I don't have to worry about really going after tools back and forth. They all have their place. So this is what we have. You just have to think of the situation where you could use something like this. Like I said, you're out here working on the car, you know, you bring your little toolbox out here with you, your little tool set, you set it up, you break this thing right here out, and you're good to go for the day. So anyway, I just want to touch on that. So that's, you know, it's all about the little things. When you're out here working on like a project car, something that's somewhat overwhelming at times, you have to make things as easy on yourself as possible. So that's why I recommend picking up a little tool set like that. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and grind these holes out. We have to get the paint off of them so that we can weld this up. Every one of these holes has to be welded up because none of them will work. So all I have is this worn out flat disc here. So yeah, I don't know how good this is going to work, but we're going to give it a go. Okay, so on this, remember that you don't have to go like crazy and sand all the way out here with it. You only need to sand right around the hole. This would be a very good time to come in and tap this down with like a ball peen hammer. What you want to do is create more of a low spot than a high spot. So if this hole is raised up, then whenever you put your weld on and you grind it all down, it's actually going to be too high. So we don't want that. It's best to go ahead and knock everything down just ever so slightly. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Just want to give that a little tap. And the reason why is because you're going to be putting filler over this anyway, at least a skim coat. So you would rather it be a little low. You're going to have to do a little work here anyway. And plus the spoiler is really going to cover most all of this up. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and do this side, and then we will pick back up when we start the welding process. So what you're going to want to do is pop your shock off. Just loosen the clip, pop it off. And you really only have to take one off, and the reason is we need this to set down. So believe it or not, the shocks on this thing work really good. So I've already done one hole. So let me show you guys what I'm talking about, why you want to do that. So you need to get yourself some sort of brass rod, or like I said, just a different type metal than steel. And what you want to do is put this in the hole, set that metal rod up through the hole here so that it touches right here. Now, I'm going to show you guys just how easy this is. So let me get you guys set up and I will drop some welds on for you.
Cinema.
All Alright guys, those were probably the shittiest welds I've ever done, but I'm trying to hold the camera and just do tack welds. I had to close my eyes. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and grind these out, and I will show you guys what I'm talking about. This is probably one of the easiest tasks you can do when it comes to, you know, major, like what you would think as body work. This is really no big deal. Obviously afterwards, you know, you're gonna have to paint your car, you're gonna have to grind everything down, smooth it, put some Bondo, but filling the holes in is actually not a hard job. All right guys, I will get back to you in a minute. So we have our Bondo applied, and from here all we want to do now is just kind of smooth everything out. Now you don't want your Bondo to get too hard, so make sure before this cures up that you're in here with at least some 80 grit and you're knocking this down. I've applied the first wet coat of primer, and yes, when I say wet, I mean wet guys. It's dripping down here. I noticed that there's a small ding back here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right there. There's also some other issues we have to fix, but the main focus is just to get primer all over everything. But we have an issue back here. Believe it or not guys, those are not easy, at least for me, to fix. When you have a dent on a body line like that, it's kind of aggravating to fix, honestly. I think it looks pretty good. You got to remember the spoiler's going to cover most of all that up anyway, but you know, you want to get it as smooth as possible. So I'm going to fill that thing up with primer. Should be good to go. I'm going to let this dry down. We're going to put a little light guide coat over everything, and then we're just going to sand it all out, try to block it out. I guess I need to clarify, whenever I say that this is pretty easy to do, it is, but I mean, obviously you have to know your way around tools, and you have to be comfortable, you know, with at least working on a car, welding, sanding, and whatnot. I guess what I'm trying to say is, a lot of people think that welding in holes and doing stuff like this is really hard work, but maybe you've done body work before. If you've done some body work before, this is a piece of cake. It's no big deal. It's kind of aggravating, but it's no big deal. Note to self, always check on the inside of the car when you're grinding or welding through a hole. Yeah, that just happened. So I guess whenever I was grinding up here, some of the sparks come down through the hole, and yeah, landed on this. So I thought, when I saw the smoke, I thought it was just smoke from, like, you know, the paint up here, because the paint gets hot. So I popped the trunk, and yeah, that's what I found. So, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this insulation is for the birds. Like, Ford, you could have done a better job. Look at this. It's still smoking. Luckily, it's only one panel, but like, we need those problems right now, because like every panel in the car pretty much needed to be replaced except for these two. They were in really good shape. So anyway, whatever, it is what it is. We'll pick up hopefully a new panel tomorrow and have it ready for the car. It's just, you know, setbacks that I just didn't need at this point in time. Overall though, everything's looking pretty good. So we've got these two spots, or these three spots, welded up right here, grinded out. This is still drying up. That should be pretty good here in a few minutes, to where I can go ahead and sand all that out. So far so good. I do have this large hole right here that I'm gonna have to weld up, and I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do it. It's gonna take a very, very small series of tacks around it, because I can't get any metal up in behind it, because there's not a hole directly below it. I could drill a hole, but I really don't want to do that. So we'll see how that works out. I'm going to go ahead and weld this other hole up and put some filler on it, and probably start smoothing it out, and I'll catch back up with you guys during that process. Guys, so we've got our skim coat of Bondo. So now what we need to do is come in and really lay down some pretty thick primer. Now remember, all of this is going to be covered up, but we don't want it to be too janky. So we want to make sure we get a good thick coat of primer on here, so that we can kind of block it out later. And if it's not perfect, that's no problem. Like I said, it's all going to be covered up. This is the time, on like a semi-flat surface like this, you can really kind of get in here and just pack this stuff on. If it runs, that's fine. It will dry. It'll just take a little while. Hopefully tomorrow we'll come out here and start putting the wing on. Also, guys, be looking forward to a video from Wisnap Mustangs. That's where we're gonna go. We're gonna pick up some new parts. Hopefully he has a new interior piece over there that we can get, since I kind of burnt that one up. All right, guys, I always forget to video. you know, I just get started on something and then next thing you know, I'm like done with it. So I apologize. I just realized that I was not videoing me sanding this. So let me explain what I'm doing here. It's real simple. What we're using is 400 grit sandpaper. I'm not wet sanding this. All I'm doing is dry sanding. And I have these new soft sanders right here. As you can see, they're flexible. And they're designed to have a sticky back paper on them so they can form a little better. But I don't have that, so this is how I'm using it. And it's working just fine. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. So I tell you what, I'll try to find somewhere, set this up, and give you a quick little time lapse, and then we'll move on. Anytime you're sanding anything that's flat, always try to block it when possible. And most of you already know what I'm talking about. For those of you that don't know, anytime you hear blocking, what that means is you're actually using some sort of firm block. That way you can wrap your sandpaper around it and keep everything flat. So what you don't want to do is take your sandpaper and do like this, because what's going to happen is you're going to put low spots in it from the pressure of your fingertips. And yes, it does matter. I promise you, you will create low spots. Now you might not always see it, but it will cause problems at some point, especially on a big flat panel. When you step back from it, you'll see high and low spots. My red car actually has a lot of those on it. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and end this. And all I'm doing is sanding it, getting ready for paint. I may go ahead and base coat and clear coat this thing tomorrow just to see what it's all gonna look like, and then we'll go from there. So we'll go ahead and end this, and hopefully next time you see it, we'll be getting it ready for paint. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and shoot some base coat on this thing. I think we look pretty good for the most part. So what I'm gonna do now is go ahead, put some paint in the gun, and we're gonna spray this thing.
Walk like I built this town. Steps so light, I barely touch the ground. And everybody wants to know how. Brick by brick, I put them in the ground.
All right, guys, here it is. Well, we have sprayed the spoiler, so it's looking pretty good. It's not perfect, which there again, I kind of rushed this job. It's got a little trash in it. We can wet sand and buff all that out. And it's got some dark spots in it where the metallic didn't lay very good, so I have to still kind of figure this gun out. You can see some of the dark spots and light spots, so I'll figure the gun out. Also, that's kind of why I wanted to go ahead and spray this spoiler, to see how the gun's going to work on a large area. So running that area from there to there taught me that I'm probably going to have to slow down a little bit or really turn the gun up. But overall, it looks really good. I'm impressed with it. Every bit of this will wet sand and buff out. It'll look great. And yes, there's clear coat everywhere underneath. I think that is going to wrap this portion of the video up. Like I said, we got the spoiler painted. We'll throw it on the car sometime tomorrow when the sun's out, look at it, and then we'll go ahead and wet sand and buff this thing out, make it slick, and we should be okay. Hopefully the modeling, or whatever you want to call it, the dark spots and the light spots, hopefully will not be that bad. We'll have to see. I may have to respray it though. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Either way, we're going to go ahead and end this video. And as always, thanks for watching.